2024. Time to put that notion that animation is just for children and embrace the wonderful storytelling medium that it is. And there's plenty of genres to choose from erotic suspense thrillers to high-flying dragon fantasies. Before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Every new sub helps us achieve our goal and keeps us motivated to create new content. With that being said, I'm your host, Jamie, and here are 10 horror animes you need to watch. Number 1. Aakashi, the Samurai Horror Tales. There are 3 stories within this 11-episode series. They all revolve around a marriage or wedding and eventually lead into a vengeful spirit coming back to claim the life of the second bride. Part 1 is called Yotsuya Kaiden. The husband in this tale seems great, not wanting to push his new bride, respecting her and whatnot. However, it doesn't always stay that way. The second part is called Tenshu Monogatari, which is an old tale about a love between a human and a god. Nope, not allowed. And the third part is called Beike Niko, which is broken down into 3 acts. These stories are all urban legends within the Japanese culture and are very well depicted in this show. I highly recommend taking a peek at this one. You can check it out on YouTube or Anime Shug. Number 2. Perfect Blue. A 1997 Japanese psychological horror loosely based on the novel called Perfect Blue: Complete Metamorphosis. We follow Kirigoi, who is a J-pop star, leaving her group to become an actress. Well, shortly after leaving the music group, she does land a small role for an acting job, which leads to high success for the show. The next role she gets involves some intense scenes, which is kind of traumatic. Soon after, the hallucinations start. So this obsessed fan gets into her day-to-day life, committing heinous crimes. Eventually, he reveals himself to her and why he's doing it. The whole build-up to the ending is just fantastic. So go check it out over on AMC+, Sling TV, Roku, Google Play, Fandango, Apple TV, and Amazon Prime. You won't regret it. Number 3. Bioh Hunter. Imagine living in a world where there was a virus that made people act almost demonic. Well, that's what happens in this 1995 film. We follow 2 biologists, Komada and Koshigaya, who are now hunting the people who have contracted this virus. Eventually, one of them gets infected, and now he has to try to overcome the demon side that is trying to come forth. The deaths are a big gruesome, and occasionally you don't know what's going to happen, and will sometimes having you saying, what the hell? But it's a fast-paced film, and honestly, the animation is what you'd expect from the mid-90s. But this is a great watch. You can watch this in all its original glory over on YouTube. Number 4. Wicked City. In 1987, we were presented with this story, and believe me, you don't want to miss this film. The beginning alone just sets everything up perfectly, from the ambience to the masterful scores, and just everything lining up so fittingly. So, Taki, our protagonist, first meets a woman at a bar. They go home, and after they have sex, she turns into a spider. Well, that's when we find out that Taki is actually a blackguard protecting the human world from the black world, which just has a lot of demons and various supernatural beings. He ends up having to partner with somebody from the other world to protect him, so there's like 500 years of peace. But just the fight scene when we meet Maki is something you need to see. Anyway, I'm not going to spoil a lot of this film because there's really a lot of characters you meet and all have some importance to them. Also, a trigger warning with this film. There is some SA going on, but I guarantee a good time with this film. So check it out on Tubi, Pluto TV, Plex, Roku, and Amazon Prime.
Hey folks, sorry to interrupt, but we just launched our very own merch store at fatninja.shop. We sell everything from t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more, so we would greatly appreciate it if you checked it out. All the proceeds go to our future projects, so it helps us make any kind of movies and short films that we want to make in the future. So if you got time, check out fatninja.shop. Thanks again, and back to the video.
Number 5, Blood Sea. A 2011 anime TV series follows Saya, who is a teenage girl for a part of her life, but a skilled swordswoman for the other part. During the day, she's your typical clumsy teenager, but at night, she is a warrior against the Elder Bames, which ultimately is like vampires. These creatures survive off the blood of humans, and it's up to Saya to protect her friends. At one point, one of these monsters is able to talk to her and tells her that the humans have been violating the terms of a contract. Saya then is on a mission to get the balance back in order. Finding out many wrongdoings, lots of kills, and a twist on reality versus fantasy, this story covers it all. Sure, some say that this is a horrible anime, but I have to disagree. The plot is simple, but it's told well. The animation is even pretty good. But I suggest taking some time out to catch this on Hulu. It'd make for a great afternoon. Number 6, Helsing. This 13-episode miniseries came out in 2002 to 2003 in North America, just a year after the release in Japan. The animation is not the greatest, but there was a little bit of a budget and time crunch. The score throughout the series is probably my favorite, considering it's very eclectic, but very menacing. Sure, this one doesn't always fit with the manga, but I prefer it this way. Well, this series will play on the fear of the unknown and darkness. There's always this darkness that's lingering in the corners, or just slightly out of focus, but always there. And the fight scenes are just one to admire. The vampires are not the typical vampire we're used to. There's no appeal to these guys. I'm not going to spoil much, as I feel like there's so much you need to see. So do yourself a favor, head over to Hulu, Crunchyroll, or Amazon Prime, and give this series a go. Number 7, Parasite. I have said it before, and I'll say it again. The Japanese really know how to fuck with your head. And this anime is no different. It starts off following Shinichi Izumi, a 17-year-old living with mom and dad in a quiet neighborhood, when one night, a worm-like parasite comes to Earth. Yes, we're talking aliens. So these worms are weird and have this, drill-like head. End up entering its host through the ears or nose and cringe. But for our protagonist, the worm starts going in through his hand, and dude names it Miji. So now he's trying to take on the parasitic beings and make sure that more people don't succumb to them. But an unlikely team forms between the two. It's awesome. I absolutely love this one, and I think you would too. So check it out over on Hulu, Roku, Crunchyroll, Fandango, and Amazon Prime. Number 8, Boogie Pop Phantom. This 12-part series focuses on a bunch of teens. Some meeting many years before everything happened, some meeting at the time. This is a unique way of telling a story as each episode is from a different character's perspective. So yeah, it can be kind of slow going. Anyway, we follow these teens on everyday life and how they manage to deal with certain events. Well, there's ghosts, ghouls, and of course, the Boogie Pop Phantom. So this phantom has a legend behind it of being death personified. And the only time it appears is when there's a major event. The animation is fitting, and even with the last episode being diluted, it just works. It's a great show, so check it out on Sling TV, Amazon Prime, or Crunchyroll. Number 9, Miro Chun. Another 12-episode venture that is a lot of fun to follow. We have Miko, a typical teenage girl, except she can see ghosts and spirits. This makes it difficult for her as time goes by, considering she loses the ability to tell who is real and who isn't. There's an entire episode about how cats can detect the spirits and how they respond. This girl has to figure out who can see what, and it's just a lot of tension. I mean, some of these ghosts are just downright creepy and make you feel uneasy. But there's no other way to have it. You really need to check this out over on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, or Crunchyroll. You will love it. Number 10, Vampire Hunter D. In 1985, we got our first ever animated horror film for adults. And let's be honest, it's great. The film follows Dee, who is our vampire hunter in some futuristic, horrible version of our world. We start off with this just dark tone and signature 80s animation. Well, our world was taken over by vampires, and our hunter is a vampire. So he's got the best of both species. When he's fighting, you know the opponent is in for a lot of pain. These fight scenes are some of the best, over the top almost. But there is some comedy. There's a lot of different genres to explore here, like western, sci-fi, the occult, and dark fantasy. You can't go wrong. I still go back and watch this when I need a reboot, so check it out for yourself over on Amazon Prime. Thanks for checking out the video. Did we leave any films off the list? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to tap that bell icon to stay up to date with our latest releases. You can reach out to us on Twitter or X at StudiosFat, or chat with us on Discord, linked below. Make sure to check out our very own merch store located at fatninja.shop. All proceeds go toward our next film project, so we'd greatly appreciate it. I've been your host, Jamie. Thanks again. Take care.